Chicago, which has the toughest gun laws in the United States, probably you could say by far, they have more gun violence than any other city.
Firearms are cheaper in Indiana. There's less detection, there are less requirements in Indiana, and that's why we're seeing this steady flow and a large volume of crime guns originating there.
Chicago Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy says it's a big reason he's confiscated more than 3,000 guns in Chicago that have come from Indiana.
16,500 plus ICE last week endorsed me. First time they've ever endorsed a candidate.
ICE spokeswoman Sarah Rodriguez stated, per the Hatch Act, federal agencies are prohibited from engaging in partisan political activity, including the endorsement of any candidate for office.
She has no idea whether it's Russia, China, or anybody else.
I am not quoting myself.
No idea.
I am quoting
The Department of Homeland Security and the Director of National Intelligence say the attacks are intended to interfere with the U.S. election process and that, quote, only Russia's senior-most officials could have authorized these activities.
Do you condemn any interference by Russia in the American election?
By Russia or anybody else.
You condemn their interference?
Of course I condemn. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I never met Putin. I spoke indirectly and directly with President Putin, who could not have been nicer. I don't know Putin. He said nice things about me. If we got along well, that would be good. And I got to know him very well because we were both on 60 Minutes. We were stablemates, and we did very well that night. People are going to come in from Syria. She wants 550% more people than Barack Obama, and he has thousands and thousands of people. They have no idea where they come from.
The screening process for these families begins more than a year, sometimes 18 to 24 months before they arrive in our neighborhoods.
We are going to stop radical Islamic terrorism in this country. She won't even mention the words.
You know, whether you call it radical jihadism, radical Islamism, I think they mean the same thing. I'm happy to say either.
Nuclear weapons. Look, she's been proven to be a liar on so many different ways. This is just another lie. We're better off, frankly, if South Korea is going to start to protect itself.
Saudi Arabia, nuclear weapons?
Saudi Arabia, absolutely.
And if they fight, you know what? That'll be a terrible thing. Terrible. Good luck, folks. Enjoy yourself.
Our country is stagnant. We've lost our jobs. We've lost our businesses.
The latest report on jobs shows some healthy hiring and yet another drop in unemployment to 5.3% now. This is the longest stretch of private sector job growth in U.S. history. 5.6 million jobs total added in just the last 2 years.
$6 billion was missing. How do you miss $6 billion? You ran the State Department. $6 billion was either stolen, they don't know. It's gone. Well, I think I did a much better job. I built a massive company, a great company, some of the greatest assets anywhere in the world.
The banks stood in line to lend Trump money, and he borrowed billions. He went on a spending spree and bought what he called his trophies, a $1 billion building built on borrowed money, junk bonds, with the whopping interest rate of 14%. Trump was now $1.4 billion in debt on his casinos alone. The casinos that bore his name, the Trump Taj Mahal, Trump Castle, and Trump Plaza, all went bankrupt.
Anybody who took the ride for the long term has lost 99% of their money.
I started with a $1 million loan. I agree with that. It's a $1 million loan, but I built a phenomenal company.
In 1979, he took out $5.7 million in 22 separate loans from either his father personally or his father's companies. By 1985, he owed $14 million in loans to his father, $3 million to him personally, and $11 million to his companies.
Donald is implying that he didn't support the invasion of Iraq. I said it was a mistake. I've said that years ago. He has consistently denied what is
wrong.
Are you for invading Iraq?
Yeah, I guess so. I wish it was. I wish the first time it was done correctly.
But once we were there, we should have never got out the way they wanted to get out.
How do they get out? You know how they get out? They get out. That's how they get out. Declare victory and leave.
He held a number of big rallies where he said that he could not possibly have done those things to those women because they were not attractive enough for
I did not
them
say
to be.
that. Believe me,
She would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
In fact, he went on to say...
Her 2 minutes, sir, her 2 minutes.
But did not say that. You take a look at her words. You tell me what you think.
Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody.
Donald Trump repeatedly demeaned women with sexist language, according to show insiders, who say he rated female contestants by the size of their breasts and talked about which ones he'd like to have sex with.
I moved on her like a bitch. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the...
But he also went after a disabled reporter, mocked and mimicked him on national television.
You got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Maybe that's what I said.
That reporter he is talking about is Serge Kovaleski, who now works for the New York Times.
Trump Foundation, small foundation. People contribute, I contribute. The money goes 100% goes to different charities, including a lot of military.
A 6-foot-tall portrait of Donald Trump, now a symbol of new questions surrounding his nonprofit. Matthew Latica's organization received that check, a donation from the Trump Foundation.
And all of her donors, just about all of them. I know Buffett took hundreds of millions of dollars.
Mr. Buffett states, I have paid federal income tax every year since before any of us were born.
Our inner cities are a disaster. You get shot walking to the store. They have no education. They have no jobs.
The FBI released its annual report of United States national crime statistics. The agency said that crime in America is down for the 4th year in a row. That includes claims of murder dropping by 5%, robbery dropping by 10%, and rape dropping by 5% compared to last year.
This is just another lie.